Alright. Hello, hello. Chainsaw Man chapter 163 came out earlier today, and we are going to talk about it. There's actually not that much to go over for this week, but we are gonna get right into it. So, the title of this chapter is called Dream Balls, and in Japanese is Yume no um, Tamaking, and Tamaking means testicles. It's like a slang for balls. So, pretty self-explanatory once we get into what happens in the chapter. But anyways, the chapter opens up with the gang watching the news, and the hot topic on the news is about an idol reporter getting revealed that she might be married, or at least in a relationship. So the way this is set up is that you were led to think that whatever is being reported on the news might be very serious from the way this fan was talking about it. She was talking about how she couldn't sleep. Her mom couldn't sleep, and she was just very stressed in general. But she ended the segment by giving her idol Koma Komagawa very encouraging words. Right. So apparently Koma Komagawa is she's having an affair with a baseball player. And this may be influenced by what happened with Saya Hiyama last year. Maybe not a year, maybe half a year. I'm not quite sure. So Saya Hiyama is a popular news reporter, weather woman, weather lady. You might have seen her in some clips all around YouTube. She does cosplays sometimes. She has cute clips of her, and she has just developed a sizable following of fans. Um, but sometime last year, it was revealed that she's in a relationship with Japanese tennis player, this guy. Apparently he's like the number one ranked Japanese baseball player, so it was a decent sized news. And as a result, Saya Hiyama got a lot of backlash, and you can see the like dislike ratio on her addressing the topic. But yeah, so it could be a reference to that. But we also dive a little bit into how the news, the media, is selective in what they choose to show on TV. Because as Haruki says, you know, even though they just broke out of the public safety facility center, there's no news reports on it. Instead, they're using the news reporter's affair to kind of divert the public attention from what's really important. So, just another one example of Fujimoto using real life to influence what happens in the story. Also, apparently, Nobana is a fan, and he was relieved when it wasn't confirmed, but it was speculated that it might not be true. The news reporter might not be dating the other person because they brought in a professional photographer to analyze the pixels and resolutions of the photos. So just to show you how how unimportant this piece of story is. But anyways, we cut to the rest of the gang. They are holed up in Fami's apartment, and this is a pretty big bed. Honestly, they can all fit on it if they wanted to. And from what we've seen, Fami's apartment looks a lot like Asa's, to be honest. There's nothing really unique about what we are seeing. And while the rest of the gang are sitting, gathering around the bed, the Nail Devil is staring, observing Denji, admiring Denji's sleeping face. The Samurai Man is showering, and Fami is eating, as she does. Asa is disgusted by what she's seeing, and Denji awakens. And he quickly makes note that Asa is missing an arm. Denji wonders if he is still asleep, if he's dreaming, because there are a lot of unfamiliar faces in front of him. And to answer that question, the Samurai Man stomps Denji in the fucking balls. So it's as a form of revenge for what Denji did to him back in chapter 38. And the Samurai Man, he's actually super jacked. This wasn't as apparent in the past because he was wearing a overcoat. But now that he's in the t-shirt, he's a fucking fridge. He's absolutely massive. He demands Denji to transform so that they can fight. But Yoru takes over Asa's body and follows up with a soccer kick to Denji's private parts. She also demands Denji to transform and for them to fight. And the chapter ends. So not a whole lot to really analyze for this week. Things are pretty straightforward. I guess the only thing to really think somewhat deeply about is the beginning segment with the news and Fujimoto's kind of social commentary. But otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward chapter. Yeah, so that's about it from me for today. There will be another chapter dropping next week, and I'll see you guys then.